Before we get to the actual video, I just wanted to warn you, this one doesn't have any edits. If your attention span is the size of a goldfish, you might as well leave the video. Because unless you're actually planning on learning something valuable today, this video is simply not for you. You're not going to gain any knowledge from this. All I'm going to do today is share you a deep story from my life. And it's up to you whether if you want to learn something from it or not. Basically, in the summer of 2023, I was in one of the biggest ruts in my life. I was on the verge of giving up the one thing I knew anything about, which was basketball. At the time, basketball was the only thing I wanted to do. There was nothing else that gave me as much fulfillment as playing that damn sport. And oh boy, before that summer, when the season was still lasting, bro, I was playing hot fucking garbage. Every single teammate was making fun of me. Everybody on my team thought I was a fucking outcast. They thought I was shit. My coach, even my fucking coach, he thought I was a fucking disappointment, and I could tell that in his eyes. I was missing open layups. I didn't know how to shoot. And on top of all these things, I'm 5'7", right? What the fuck can a 5'7" player do? Have you ever seen a 5'7" player in the NBA? Oh wait, there were a few. You get the idea. That's way too short for the basketball sport. At least that's what people thought. But all these things were, shitting onto my brain, which made me feel shit. Couldn't think of a better word to use. Yeah, I was literally on the verge of giving up the whole sport. All of this was pretty much, it was too much for me. I can't think of a better way to say it. It was all too much for me. Everybody was turning against me. I felt like garbage. And I was, as I said, on the verge of giving up the whole thing. The one thing I knew anything about. Without basketball, I would just be an NPC, a nobody. At least that's what I thought back then. I thought I would be a nobody. I thought I would be like the most uninteresting person in the room. And oh man, the actual story that we're going to get into, the day of the summer of 2023 that we're going to talk about, man. But okay, let's get to the actual day. There was a day in that summer where I said, fuck it. I went on the basketball court, even though I knew I was doing really bad. And guess what? I was on my bike and I was cycling for like around 2 kilometers or so because there was this one court. I would purposely choose basketball courts where there were no people. The most abandoned ones there were. Just so I can practice on my own. And that day I went on the court to truly ask myself the question whether if I actually wanted to continue or not. Because hey, weightlifting was kind of fun too. Maybe that would have worked out. That's what I thought. So I went on the basketball court and I couldn't possibly be more disappointed. Guess who I saw there? Guess who I saw on the damn basketball court? The exact people that would make fun of me at practice. I was devastated. I didn't know what to do. I stood there and I just stared at them with almost fear in my eyes. Literally almost fear. As if I knew what would have happened if I went on the court. As if I could literally see in the future and I could predict what would happen if I actually played with them. I thought that this would only lead to destruction. I thought I would literally be asking for further embarrassment. So, you know what I did? It turned the other way. And as I was on my bike, I kept overthinking all of this. This is where all the bad stuff really ganged up on my brain. That's when I really started to overthink. And it got to a point where I didn't even know where I was going with my bike. I was so inside of my head that I didn't even know where I was going. I was just driving forwards, not knowing the destination. Just kept going, kept thinking about all these things. And suddenly I stopped. I look around. And I have no fucking idea where I am. I hadn't had a fucking clue where I was. I was on some road right beside a forest. And I could only see like 3 houses. There was nothing there. It was just plains. There was some corner, some other shit like that growing somewhere, but I was in the middle of nowhere. I had zero clue where I fucking was. And as I realized this, I remember I sat down beside the road and I started fucking crying. No YouTuber in the fucking world will tell you this. They all trying to act fucking tough and shit. But I'm human. And I'm gonna tell you what exactly happened, bro. I burst into tears. I didn't know what to do. I was so fucking lost at that point in time. Literally, as I said for the billionth time, because I can't find better words to put this. It was the one thing I knew something about. Without it, I would have been like an absolute fucking outcast. And I sat there and I literally sobbed. I didn't know what I was supposed to fucking do. Until I reached for the basketball in my backpack and I just started dribbling. To this day, I look back at that day and I think to myself, damn. It was literally just me, my bike, my basketball, and the forest. But it wasn't a forest, it was a road beside a forest, but you get the idea. And as I just dribbled by myself, my mind was shut. All of that noise I had in my brain finally fucking disappeared. I stopped feeling like shit. I finally found this like joy that basketball used to bring me. I finally felt like I was doing something. Bro, I was just dribbling on the street in the middle of nowhere. That wasn't anything productive, I know. But it put my mind at ease. And I dribbled there for little hours. I stood by that road. And by the way, there was literally no place to dribble. I would wait for all the cars to go by. And then I would just dribble in the middle of the road. There wasn't even a bench for me to sit on. But yeah, the road itself, there was pretty much no cars. Barely any, so it was pretty simple to dribble. I was there for hours. Hours upon hours on end just by myself. I think I literally did like every single dribble combo there is. It was so peaceful. But as I acknowledged the fact that I've been there for so long, I sat down and I checked my phone and I saw, wait, it's this hour? Now I need to get back home. But I came back with a smile on my face. Literally like a huge fucking giggle. I went from fucking crying like a little baby bitch to suddenly being the happiest person in the world. You know why? Because I knew that I've made the right decision. I didn't give up. As soon as I hopped back on my bike and I started riding, I thought to myself, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck all that shit. I went on the very basketball court I talked about before, where there were so many people and shit. I went there and the only thing that was in my mind was fucking destroying. It was to fucking destroy these guys. I knew they were theoretically more skillful than me, but all I wanted to do is to prove them fucking wrong. And this mindset, I carried it pretty much still today. I still carry this mindset with me. I just wanted to fucking destroy these guys. I just wanted to prove them wrong. That I am actually somebody. And as I arrived at the court, guess what? It was empty. Not a single person. But now I was mad. Now I wanted to play with people. Now I wanted to learn more. So I stood there by myself and I just shot around. I practiced and I stayed for another amount of hours until I came back home very late. But this was the beginning of me putting some real fucking work in. I'm gonna put clips of me from practice doing like my first jelly layups and shit. I was finally getting fluid with the ball. I finally kept learning because I didn't give up on that day where I was fucking crying and I was on the verge of giving up the whole thing. because I kept going, I finally started to see the progress I wanted. And after summer was over, let's go back a couple days. Let's go back to summer. After the summer itself was over and the school year started, we all started going to practice again. You know, the whole team reunited. We didn't see each other throughout the whole summer. And we go on our first practice session. Guess what happens? I still carried this mindset that I'm going to destroy everybody in this room, that I'm going to prove everybody wrong. But when I stepped on the court and I started playing, the exact same fucking story from beforehand happened. Essentially, I played like shit. The exact same story happened. People started giggling at me. The coach still looked at me like a fucking weirdo. But this time it was different. Because this time, I didn't just break down into tears and I didn't consider quitting. I kept fucking going. I kept showing up to every single practice session. I started seeing progress. I'll see another pic. Fuck. Yeah, I'm not going to cut out the stutter because I said there's not going to be any edits. But I'll show you a video of me fixing my jump shot. I could finally see the progress I wanted. I kept fucking working and working and working. I wanted to prove everybody wrong so fucking bad. That was the only thing that was sitting in my mind. To prove all of these motherfuckers wrong. And to show that I'm actually somebody. Around early February, I think, the basketball tournament was announced. Essentially, I'm from Europe, right? It's not like in the US where you have high school leagues, college leagues, and shit like that. No, in Poland, in the city that I live in, which is pretty small, right? There's like this very small regional tournament, which every school from like our region can join, and this was like our high school league compared. I guess that's what the skill gap is. It's like either high school or college. I don't know. Just the Polish educational system is fucking weird. I don't know how to like carry that over to the US. But essentially, I wanted to play there so fucking bad. That tournament, this was finally my chance to prove everybody wrong. I was finally given that opportunity. But you know what the catch was? You actually had to be good enough to make it to the team. And my practice is full of people. My school is filled to the fucking brim with basketball players that are way better than me. So I needed to really put in the work. Really try. If I wanted to play on that tournament. So, same story. I kept practicing and practicing and practicing until finally, after all of these fucking months of hard work and dedication, 3 days ago, on my last practice session, the exact same story happened. I played like shit. Absolute fucking garbanzo. A friend of mine who's like kind of my rival. We were playing 1v1 and he landed a block on my layup. So fucking nasty. You could hear the slam across the whole court. Everybody was giggling at me again. They weren't giggling at me as much as they used to because they saw the progress. But I started to get the exact same thoughts I would a couple of months ago. I didn't consider quitting anymore, but I started asking myself, what if I don't make it? What if I don't? What if I don't fulfill what I wanted to achieve for so long? But then as the practice session was over and I walked into the locker room all moody and shit, angry at everybody for no reason, the coach walked in and he gave us like, he didn't give a list. He said to everybody directly who's going on a tournament. And he didn't mention me. You can imagine the amount of fucking anger I was filled with. I was fucking furious when I saw the rookies on our team getting the invitations and I didn't. I wanted to pull my fucking hair out. Wait, this comparison is kind of funny because I got a buzz cut now. That doesn't kind of work. But you get the idea. I was furious. And I spoke to my buddy from the team like, bro, why didn't he invite me? Why didn't he invite me? And That friend of mine, he's a little bit worse than me, so he didn't even like consider making it. He just played basketball for fun. He wasn't like me. But he gave me some bullshit advice, but I thought to myself, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. I'm gonna do something that seems very unreasonable, but I just need to fucking know. I went, I walked up to the coach after the practice as he was about to leave the school, as he was about to leave the building. And I asked him directly in the face, am I going? Just imagine this. Imagine you've had one of the worst practice games for a while. You've been playing really good, and suddenly you have this one game where you're like, shit. You're back to point A pretty much. And you're looking at that coach with this like fear in your eyes. The fear that you're not going to be able to fulfill what you wanted to so much. I ask him. He looks confused as fuck, of course, because I was probably like, I didn't realize back then how fucking dumb I must have looked. But I asked him and he gave me the question. Fuck, he gave me the answer. Let me check the list. Oh, my bad, Simon. I forgot to read you out. Yeah, you're in the team too. To this day, I can't help but to fucking smile. Do you know how amazing of a feeling it is when you're trying to get to a certain point and you've gone through so many trials and tribulations? You were literally on the urge of quitting. This video was about quitting, right? I didn't. And that's how I got all the rewards I fucking wanted, because I stayed consistent and I didn't fucking give up. That's the last thing you should fucking consider. Bro, I barely made it. He literally forgot to read me on the list. He did me dirty. He did me fucking dirty, but I still made it. The achievement I set for myself back then, it wasn't to actually win. It was to make it. It was to make it to the team. It wasn't even just about winning the whole thing. Matter of fact, as I'm recording this video, the thing didn't even happen yet. It'll be in like 2 weeks after I record this video. And here I was, just wanted to participate. Bro, I was down so fucking bad. I just wanted the participation trophy. But by working forward towards the thing I wanted, I finally got it. The mistake most people do, they quit too early. They don't want that thing enough. If they would have actually wanted that thing, they would have sacrificed so fucking much just to get it. And how do I know? Well, I've been talking about that thing for like thousands of minutes now. You know why? Listen, if you feel like giving up, it should be the last fucking thing to be on your mind. Because you will end up like me, overthinking your every step and risking not making it. Or making it barely like I did. Honestly, I'm grateful that I made it. But now I'm in a period where I have to actually prove to everybody that I'm not a disappointment. This is where the real shit starts for me. Okay, I made it to the team. Woo! Whatever. If you feel like giving up, promise me that you fucking won't. It'll take some time to get the things that you want. But if you stay consistent, I promise you, no matter what it is, you can fucking do it. And I'm a proof of that. All right, man. That's all I have to say for this video. Keep working, brother.